What's up? What's up? Hello orchid fans, what's up? I hope you're doing well today, and thank you so much for joining me for this video, for this monthly update. So August is basically over, summer is over. Honestly, feels like in Scotland the summer was over last month because August was just such a bad month, you know, so cold and barely any sun. So honestly, I think if my orchids were living outside, they would think that this is now, you know, we're way into autumn now. But because they're obviously here in my room, they don't know what's going on outside. So whatever I give them here, that's how they grow. So for them, it's still summer, it's still nice and warm and bright. So all good. So overall, they're doing, you know, pretty well. They're still growing quite well. I've done one change to my setup, a tiny change. So I'll show you that in a second. That's why I didn't want to turn off the lights, because it's to do with the lights. So I'll show you that quickly. But yeah, I guess, you know, let's just jump right in and have a look at the orchids closer. Okay, so it's a bit of an awkward angle, but what I wanted to show is that I added like a small net on these lamps here. So you can see these ones here, they're totally uncovered and just, you know, going right into orchids. The light goes, you know, it's just not covered at all. And here I added a small net, almost like a shade netting. So I just wanted to kind of show the difference. I don't know if you can see on film really any much difference. To be honest, I can't even see much difference with naked eye either, but I'm sure the orchids would feel that. So what I'm doing here is I'm keeping my kind of lower light orchids, or, you know, like my Macodis petola, it doesn't want to have high light, and I actually had to remove it from my shelves altogether because it started kind of browning a little bit, and I'll show you that closer. My Oncidium is didn't seem like it enjoyed much light. My cucumerinum here. So I'm just basically trying to see if this would work as kind of, you know, to provide lower light, because all my lamps on the shelf are exactly the same. So you know, I can't turn one off and leave the rest on because they're all connected to the same cable. So they're either all on or all off. So the way for me to control the lighting would be, you know, just to add some kind of shading on top. So that's what I wanted to show you as a change. So let me turn the lights on so that hopefully have a better lighting and we can get into the orchids closer. Alrighty, let's try and be quick because we've got a few shelves to get through, and I always try and do this quick and it just never happens. So this guy is still in bloom, my Paphiopedilum blackjack. Look at that, oh my goodness, I just love this orchid. It still looks nice and fresh. It's been open for quite a while now, but doesn't seem like it wants to drop this flower, which is good. Although I do want to repot it because it's in a seedling bark, so it is kind of seems like it's starting to go over. So I'd like to repot it, but I'm not touching it until it finishes blooming. And then I wanted to show you this. We haven't looked at this for a while. This is my Eulophia petersii, and check out this new growth. Oh my goodness, honestly, it's grown another probably centimeter overnight. This is growing now so fast. It's unbelievable. So I am just so happy with this. This was on my wish list forever, and I paid a fortune for this, but I really wanted this orchid, so I bought it from like Afro Plants store, you know, online store, and they didn't have any other orchids. This was the only one, and so I had to pay for the shipping, you know, just to ship this one orchid, so that's why it worked out to be quite expensive. But oh my god, I'm just so happy with it. And this new growth is just amazing. So really wanted to share this with you guys because it kind of sits at the back. I never show you this orchid, but you know, I saw this new growth for a while now, but I just I want to keep it at the back because the lights are over there, so that it kind of gets the most light from here. It's a desert orchid, so it can, you know, tolerate direct sunlight pretty easily. It really wants to have high light. So let me just walk around the tripod without kicking it, because I want to also show you this orchid, which we don't take out of the shelf very often. And this is my Dendrobium Burana twist. And again, look at this new growth. Oh my goodness, it's grown so big. Oh, of course I had to kick the tripod. But yeah, it's so big. And I think it's now done with the leaves. So this is the last leaf. It is still developing. It's still quite soft. I mean, the leaves below it are getting now harder, which is what it should do. Hopefully it will grow a little bit more. You can see it hasn't reached the height of the previous growth. So hopefully it will keep growing. It's got quite a lot of roots as well. New roots are pushing out from this growth. So seems to be happy. So I really hope it will give me a spike, this new growth, because the flowers are just the most beautiful flowers. So I would love to see it. And yeah, the others are growing pretty well. I've just shown you my Psychopsis yesterday, so I'm not going to go into that. My rescue vanilla is over there, still dying and hates me. So yeah, let's keep going down. Alrighty, before we move into this shelf, just wanted to give you an update on my other rescue orchids. So we looked at vanilla and Phalaenopsis bronze maiden. So I think, you know, this is totally dead. So when I said I saw something green, it's not moving at all, and yeah, I don't think it's possible to save this one. And then the other one I want to show you is also a Phalaenopsis. This is a complex hybrid Phalaenopsis. It's got a beautiful leaf, growing really well, and it's got a spike. So this orchid is seriously, like, it just cannot stop blooming. And yeah, the spike seems to be developing pretty nicely. And I mean, look at these roots, like all these green root tips, you know, branching roots. I think once it's finished blooming, I'm gonna have to repot it and just move it into a bigger pot. But yeah, it's just growing super well. And then I'm not gonna go into all of these because it's just gonna take too much time. But this is quite a recent addition to my collection. This is my Epidendrum hybrid. I really need to put a tag on here. This is my only Epidendrum though, so this is a cake I got, and you know, when I got it, it kind of stopped growing altogether. It just tried to figure out where it is and what it's doing, but now it's growing again. So I can see that this leaf is extending, and there is another leaf already inside. Sorry, I don't know why it's doing this. It's not focusing at all. The roots here are now extending as well, and let me see if I can get it out of this decorative pot because it's so exciting. I just noticed yesterday, look at these. So I've got a root tip here, one here, and then one big one here. So it's just growing so many roots. I don't see anything here yet, but so many root tips now. And the ones at the base, they were teeny tiny nubbins, and they're now going down into the media as well. So yeah, I think this KK is doing really well for me. So I'm super excited to have an Epidendrum in my collection. My Angraecum alloifolium is also doing really well. So it's extending this leaf at the top, and I also can see so many new roots, you know, going down into the pot. So that's really exciting. So this guy is happy. My Leptotas bicolor, I know I show this every single month, but honestly, I am genuinely so surprised at this orchid. You know, I keep looking at it, you know, every couple days, and I just never stop getting surprised. So you see it's now pushing out another new growth right there. I took the support off, you know, I had like a ring going around it to kind of help those growths to stay upright, but it doesn't need it anymore. Look at it. This is full of roots. The orchid is now pod bound, and it's got another new growth right there behind this big new growth. And it's also, I can't believe it, but it's actually pushing flower spikes. Can you see the flower spike right there? When it can focus at some point. So there is a flower spike on that growth. I think there is a flower spike on this growth as well. It's just still very, very small. Gosh, like you are really having trouble focusing today. So yeah, it's just, I am super surprised at this orchid. You know, I thought I killed it, and it's not only it's recovering, it's actually just thriving in here. This guy here, again, I just can't believe, you know, how well it's doing. Look at this beautiful leaf. The roots are just going nuts in there, so I had to add extra bark on top because it's a terrestrial orchid, so it's not gonna want to grow roots in the air. But this new pseudobulb is pushing out so many new growths, so many new roots. I even noticed there is a root now at the bottom. Can you see this? Again, it's not, oh, it's trying to focus. Here we are. So it's now even hitting the bottom of the pot, you know, those roots. So gosh, it's doing so well. I'm just so excited. Everything else is just growing really nicely. My tolumnias are growing well, but not spiking or anything. So, you know, I'm not showing them. So if they want any attention, they're gonna have to push a flower spike. So let's just move down a shelf. Okay, so this shelf is looking slightly different now. You know, because I put the shading on one of the shelves, I had to kind of rearrange, you know, some of my orchids so that, you know, I put all my higher light ones here. So what do we want to focus on today? So I know I keep showing this, but again, this is my overachiever, so it needs to be shown. So it's now got another growth right over here. This is my Cattleya Mini Queenie Angel Kiss. Oh no, it's Cattleya Coriads Mini Queenie Angel Kiss. I mean, the longest name you can think of. And then this new growth is just huge, and it's now pushing out so many new roots all over the place. So it's yeah, it's just doing so well. So it's time for you to bloom now. You are pretty big, so come on, start pushing out some sheaves for me, please. My Dendrobium speciosum Maizuru, another overachiever. So, you know, I noticed a couple days ago that it's, can you see like these white leaves? They're starting to get the green tinge, and that is a sign that it's pushing out a new growth. And what do you know? Look at that. There is a nubbin right there. Can you focus today? So there is a nubbin right there, so we can see a new growth. So yeah, look at that. So happy. I didn't expect it to push another growth out this year. I thought it's gonna be resting now. So I was about to kind of put it on a, you know, different kind of watering regime, no fertilizer or anything. But no, it's proved me wrong. It's gonna grow again. So all others are also, you know, they're growing pretty well. My Bulbophyllum lepidum over there, it's pushing out 2 new growths, and it matured the other growths. The roots are going nuts in there. You can even see some roots right there. They're just going down into leca. So it's doing so well, and you can see how many growths it's got. So, you know, I'm hoping that it will have a much better blooming for me next time. I only had 2 blooms off it earlier this year, so I'm hoping for a lot more because it pushed out about 5 or 6 new growths already. So, you know, we should have better blooming. And my Mona Chica is doing well, Renanthera Mona Chica. It's pushing out this leaf, and you can see in the crown there's another small leaf starting, which is really exciting. This root is super long, and can you believe it? I actually managed to get this root into this fan over there, and it obviously just destroyed the tip. So I was devastated, but it's so long. It's just, I don't know where it was trying to go, but this root tip was nice and long and healthy the whole time until I destroyed it. But it's such a shame. So I'm trying to be super careful now not to push it into a fan again. But yeah, it's a happy little orchid. So yeah, let's keep going down then. Alrighty, so this is basically my low light shelf now. So I promised to show you my Macodus patola. So let me take this out. Let me see if there is any water in here. No? Okay, good. So yeah, so can you see how it's kind of yellowing its leaves, and this grove here was kind of getting destroyed as well. So yeah, you see this one as well. So I think that is all light damage. So that's why I kind of just took it off the shelf altogether, because I thought, you know, it's obviously getting too much light, which it doesn't like. But I mean, look how vigorous it is. Oh my goodness. I got it as tiny one kind of division, you know, one growth just a year ago, and wow, it's just gone mental in this pot. So I think we're gonna have quite a good bloom show. It even bloomed for me from that one growth last year, so if it's gonna bloom this year, it's gonna be quite a show, I think. And this is my other jewel orchid, and you can see as well, this one is the same. You see how it started like getting yellow on the edges? Again, I think that this is light damage, but it's growing well. It's developed, I think, this leaf here, and it's now pushing out another one. So it's growing roots as well. So this portion kind of leaned down on the media and is pushing the roots down, so it's growing really well. My cucumerinum, you can see it actually like drying off some of the growths, but it's also pushing out new growths. So you can see there is a new growth right in front of us. So that's new and nice, and it's got some root action here and the new growth here. So I think those older growths, they will probably start kind of aborting. I mean, it's barely got any roots in the pot, so it's starting to push out roots from the new growth. So I'm hoping that, you know, it will do well in the future. My seedlings are doing really well, I think. You know, they're getting very lush, and the leaves are very nice, and they're getting, you know, kind of wider now, so that looks good. These are my two bonsai trees that I'm growing from seed. So I'm not gonna show you this in this video. I know not everybody's obviously interested in bonsai trees. So and then look at this. This is my cinnamon twinkle, and these spikes are awesome. So I've got 3 spikes in total, and they're now starting, you see, they're starting to push their branches out, and they're just developing really nicely. I know it's still gonna take a while before they actually open the flowers, but I just feel like it's very early for them to even start thinking about spikes, you know, and mine are now developed so well. So I feel like mine will probably open up pretty early this year. And this is another twinkle. This is Red Fantasy. It's still growing the bulb, so it will take a while before it starts thinking about spikes, but that's okay. I've got another one to look forward to. So yeah, let's just go down to the bottom shelf and we will wrap it up. Okay, so not many plants on the shelf, so this is gonna go really fast. As you can see, my miniature Phalaenopsis is starting to bloom. Once it opens, you know, majority of its blooms, I'll do a bloom alert video on it, but oh, this is a teaser for you. It's so beautiful. I just love the color of these. And look at the mottling of the leaves as well. And I mean, these roots are just, again, going nuts. That pot is rock solid, so it's just doing super well. My Masdevallias are over there, so they're growing pretty well as well. I want to do something with that one in the bark. I think it could grow a lot better than it is right now, so I think I maybe need to do something about it. The one that we put in leca recently, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think it's just too early still, you know, to say what's happening, but it's still got the root tips and, you know, the active root tips, so it's still growing its roots. The leaves are okay, I think. So we can see some roots on the side of the pot. So I don't know, I think it's doing quite well. But yeah, but I think we just need to wait a bit longer before we can say a lot more about it. And my Dendrobium cucumerinum cross is also growing nice. I noticed there is another bud growing on one of the growths, which is right there. There is the bud, if that camera can focus today. So it's right here. These buds have been open for months. I don't even know when they opened actually, but I think the flowers are maybe now starting to kind of, they're not looking as fresh anymore. I mean, on camera they look amazing, but in real life I think that they are maybe starting to go over, and the seed pod is still growing. So yeah, that's it, guys. So I'm not gonna show my face again, but thank you so much for joining me and for looking at the orchids. Let me know what you would like to see in these kind of monthly update videos. You know, do you like the format that it's currently in, or would you like some other kind of content in these type of videos? Let me know. I would like to change it up a little bit so it's not just the same and boring all the time. So yeah, just give me guys a shout, give me your suggestions. I would love to hear from you. And have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.